In this part of the world, you've got to bring your food with you, and what better than to start the day with some bread and cheese. I always carry some tinned stuff with me and some rice and pasta, but for breakfast you can always stop at the side of the road and buy some bread for the following day. And this is my breakfast today, some bread and cheese. And good morning to all my cuddly YouTubers and all my fuzzy friends on FaceTube. Hello and good morning and welcome to Morocco. It's about 8:30. The sun is high and I'm going to be making tracks shortly. And today I'm off south. We've got east, we've got west, north, we've got south, and I'm heading in that direction today to Merzouga, which is about 370 kilometers. And I should do that in about four and a half hours. So I'll be there this afternoon, which is a place I want to go to, because a little bit further from that, that's when we start getting into the desert, which should be interesting. So here we are. It's wonderfully warm and it's so peaceful and so quiet, and it makes such a difference not to wake up to braying donkeys or barking dogs. Or 2 nights ago there was a chicken that started its cock-a-doodle-doo about 3 o'clock in the morning. I could have gone a chicken curry that day, but anyway. So before I go any further, pull up a bollard, or in my case, pull up a stone, because there's a couple of stories I want to tell you. The first one happened yesterday, about strange things that happen, and I love listening to podcasts. So one of my favourite podcasts is Adventure Bike Radio. If you've never heard of Adventure Bike Radio, go and visit them and subscribe to them. And honestly, the guy who runs Adventure Bike Radio is superb. He asks some superb questions, and there's a couple from Australia who contribute, a couple of people from America, and there's a British guy, and it's superb and it's perfect. And if you love two wheels, you love traveling, it's a fantastic way to spend a whole evening or an afternoon just listening to Adventure Bike Radio. Anyway, many episodes ago, there was one chap was saying, when you're in Africa, you're never alone. Wherever you think you're alone, someone will always pop up. So yesterday I was riding south, and the night before I'd had some local food, and my stomach was playing war drums. It wasn't very happy at all. And I was riding along and I thought, I need to go to the toilet. But where do you do it when everything's flat and desolate? And at one point on the horizon, I saw this clump of trees. And I was getting closer and closer, and I thought it was a big clump of trees. And I thought, yes, great. So I came up to the trees and I pulled in, because there was a little road off. And I pulled in underneath these trees, and it was beautiful. Nice and cool, lots of shadow. And there was all these bushes at the back of the trees. And I thought, yes. So I got my trowel out so I could dig a hole, because the biggest rule of when you're traveling out and about like this is to leave nothing behind, or leave no trace, as they say in CSI. So I dug my little hole and I had a listen around. Nobody, nothing, no cars. From there, cars pass once every maybe 5 or 10 minutes. So dug my little hole, another check around, nothing, quiet. So braces down, trousers down, which is quite hard work with these motorcycle trousers. and got my trousers down, and I squatted over my nice little hole. And I'm just about to let nature take its course, and I'm there in the position, which is quite a hard position to get into for a Westerner. I know that most people do that every day of their lives and they're used to it, but for a Westerner, we're used to sitting on a big white throne. So I was in the position, and I'm just about to let nature take its course when all of a sudden there was a rustle to the right of me. And next thing, out of these bushes, a man walked out of the bushes. So I'm looking at him, he has a quick look at me, looks ahead and starts walking. And as he's walking past, I say, "Bonjour, monsieur." And he says, "Bonjour, monsieur," and walks off. And the next thing, all these sheep started following and followed him. Didn't pay me any attention, and I'm there. And that was it. Then I let nature take its course, and I filled my hole in, and I felt good after that. I felt really good. So I washed my hands, and I had another drink of water, got my gear back on again, and I left. And about half a kilometre down the road, I passed him with his sheep. I waved, he waved, and that was it. But when he walked past me and I says bonjour, and he says bonjour, bonjour back, it was like the most natural thing in the world. And to me, being British, it's like you want to die of shame, because toilet stuff is something we don't talk about. It's behind locked doors. But I really feel sorry for the lad, because I just hope he didn't have a nightmare. Anyway, another thing I want to talk about this morning before I make tracks. I came across a story recently about a lovely young lady who lives in the Kingdom of Fife, and she's mad about motorbikes. She's raced motorbikes when she was younger, mad about speed and cars, and lovely. And many years ago, she had an accident. She got T-boned by someone in a car when she was commuting to work, and she nearly lost her legs. But through the love of her family, resilience, true grit, whatever you want to call it, she survived and she didn't lose her legs. And eventually, after a few years, she got back onto two wheels, and she also got behind four wheels. And it was a truly heart-wrenching story, and I had tears in my eyes after I watched the clip on YouTube. But that story is remarkable because it's about resilience, it's about love, and it's about what's inside you. And part of that is about mental health. Now, we've got two kinds of health. We've got physical health, which we deal with on a daily basis, and as we get older, things start to droop and sag, or legs drop off, or fingers drop off, or hair drops off. But there's also mental health, which is really quite important. And however young you are or old you are, it's something that you need to get a grasp of, because mental health is pretty important. And for a lot of us, we keep it bottled up. And for me, for years, for 41 years, I've done the same job. And I thought the job was the best job in the world. And sometimes, to my own detriment, I think I put my job before my family and my marriage. But that's what a job can do sometimes, especially when you enjoy your job. You're in a fortunate position. Some people are not in that fortunate position and have to go and do the same old job day in, day out, day in, day out. But it can build up in your head, the resentment. And for me, as I started getting older, it was people that would get on my nerves. And for the past 10 years or so, people would really get on my nerves. Working for clients who I utterly despise, and I've worked for hundreds of clients who are absolutely fantastic, but now and again you come across a client or a person that you positively don't like, but you have to mind your P's and Q's, because they're paying you. You're a freelancer, they're paying your wages, and you have to get on with it. But as I get older, I found that this resentment inside me was building and building and building, and I would get very fed up with myself. I'd get very fed up with my job. I'd get very fed up with people. But that's where two wheels comes in. For me, that is my release. And I think however old you are, however young you are, you need to have a release. Whether it's making models, making a 1/10 model of the Titanic with matchsticks, country dancing, listening to music, or hitting a small white ball around a field with a golf bat, you've got to have a release. And I know, talking to lots of guys on two wheels and four wheels, having four wheels and two wheels, that becomes a release. And not about the going fast. For me, it's not about going fast. It's about traveling. It's all about also about bendy bits. And to me, this is my release as well. And one of the reasons why I've made this journey, partly to get rid of a few cobwebs up here, but this is something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to travel on two wheels. I love travelling anyway. I was in the Navy for many years. I enjoyed, and that's why I joined. I wanted to go and travel, and I enjoyed the travelling. And then I left the Navy, and then it's work, 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 and you become a worker drone, just working for the wage. Well, now that all that's coming to the end for me, I'm just about retired. I've now been able to travel more. Last year I travelled through Europe, which was great. But travelling around Europe was fantastic. I saw some wonderful places, met some fantastic people. But I just wanted that little bit more. And this to me is that little bit more. Some days I'd come back off a job, a horrible, hateful job, and I hated the client and I hated the type of job I was doing. And then in the evening I'd go out for a ride on the bike, and within 30 minutes, gone. So this to me, it's about removing part of the cobwebs, but it's about doing something that I've always wanted to do, which was travel like this on two wheels, which was unsupported, not having a team of trucks with spare bikes behind me. And I know some people travel and stay in hotels, but I can't afford to do the hotels. So to me, that is my hotel. I travel with a few days rations on the bike, so I can travel. I can stay in places like this for a few days at a time, no problem at all. And I love this. I love the challenge. I mean, we do like a little bit of a challenge, don't we? Noughts and crosses, Sudoku, little things like that, word games, mind games. And to me, the challenge is here is finding my next petrol station, finding my next shop which sells some food, and also finding somewhere to stay for the night, which again is a challenge in itself. But today I am so happy I could scream, I could shout, because I am living my own little dream. At the age of 64, it just goes to show that you're never too old to live for your dreams. And if you're in your 60s and think about doing something like this, then do it. It's not hard, because if I can do it, anyone can do it. Especially if you've got your Yorkshire tea with you by your side. I feel like a 14-year-old schoolgirl who's just come first in a giggling competition. I just feel like a giggling schoolgirl. I feel fantastic. And I wake up to this, and it is so peaceful, it is so quiet. I've got the sun beaming down on my bald head, which is why I'm wearing the hat this morning. And I just feel so happy to be alive. And another thing which brings it home to you is, in this part of Morocco, it's very rural. And there are people living traditional lifestyles. And when you pass, yesterday I just stopped for something, just to look at something on my sat nav, and I saw a donkey coming along pulling a cart, and the woman was driving the cart, and she probably looked as though she was in her 60s, although she was probably a little bit younger. She had traditional dress on, which was like a straw hat and all the shawls. and then there was two other people in the cart as well, and you could see that they are dirt poor. They are eking their existence, but that's their life. And sometimes when you live in the West like we do, we just don't know how lucky we are. We're so lucky to be alive. We're so lucky to have the internet, to have jobs, to have cars, to have roofs over our heads. And when you come to places like this and you see people eking a living, you think, wow, we just don't know how lucky we are sometimes. So, feeling blessed that I'm fortunate to be able to make a trip like this, fortunate to have some funds in the bank account to be able to make this trip. I'm just so happy to be alive this morning, and I'm looking forward to the next bit. So, to all my fuzzy face tube people and my cuddly YouTube people, have a great day, because I'm going to have a great day. I'm heading south now to my next rendezvous, and hopefully some sand and hopefully some palm trees. I may be staying there for maybe 2 nights, but it's going to be fun. So, and when I get the chance, I'll upload another couple of videos. Bye bye for now. Hello, Lenny!
Hey, nice to meet you again.
How you doing?
Very
You
good.
made it!
Yes, finally.
Gosh.
It's insane, right?
It is insane.
Yes.
And
just look at it. It's so beautiful.
it's beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful.
Here we are.
And hello to my cuddly YouTube subscriber and my fuzzy friends on Facebook. Hello, it's me again. Well, that was another epic day. 360 kilometres. Bit of a hot ride today, a bit chilly this morning because I've got summer riding gear, not winter riding gear. But as the day progressed, it got warmer and warmer and warmer. And by the time I got here to Merzouga, it was about 28 degrees. And finally got the tent up. And it was great. And I've just had me something to eat. And the sun's just gone down. And I feel so blessed and so lucky that I've actually made it this far and that I'm actually here. I mean, a lot of people dream of doing something like this and they don't have the opportunity or whatever, but no, I'm really thrilled to be here. And guess what? I met up with my old friend Lenny from Bremen. He wanted to go and see Fez, and I wanted to push further east. And we'd talked about this place anyway, and we just so happened to get here on the same day. He got here about an hour before me, and we both travelled about really 800, 900 kilometres, I suppose, just to get to this point, which is on the cusp of the Sahara. And it's been a great day, and I'm thoroughly tired. I'm going to sleep well tonight. I'm going to sleep very well. And it's really warm. Even now the sun's gone down, it's still warm. And it's a little bit of a tourist place, this, because in the town you can rent dirt bikes, quads and stuff like that. There's even camel rides. But I think I'll give the camel rides a miss, to be honest. Earlier on, the only things I found annoying is the flies. Zillions of flies. Is what it is. And then beggars. I've had, when I was putting the tent up, I had a little lad watching me. Didn't offer to help, but he was watching me. Thankfully, he didn't offer any criticism. Otherwise, I would have thrown a rock at him. But and after I got everything sorted, he came over and asked for some money. So I says no. Then a bit later on, a guy on a motorbike turned up, wanting to sell me. I just says no, 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 no. Then another guy turned up on a bicycle. I says no, 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 no. I'm not interested. I'm quite happy in my own little bubble, to be honest, you know. And I think once you start travelling on your own, you become to cherish your own little exclusion zone, really. But they've only got a job to do. And then I was eating my dinner. 5 kids turned up out of nowhere, and I was sat there watching me eat. Felt like saying, "Go away." But then they came over and put their hands out, so I just shook my head. You can't blame them, can you, really? You can't blame them. So anyway, this is me here, the sun going down. Tomorrow I'm going to plan here, I think, to stay a couple of days. Depends how much hassle I get tomorrow from the beggars. But I'm planning to stay here for a couple of days, and then I'm going to push west into the desert a little bit. There's a few little places I want to see. So before that, before I do that, I've got to let the air out of my tyres, or most of it anyway, to give me some better traction. My back tyre's absolutely superb, but it's my front really, which is well, there we go. So I'm going to take some air out of it. Plus the other thing is I haven't got a dirt bike. What I've got is a big heavy bike. So all you've got to do really is just put on a few revs, aim it straight ahead, and hope for the best. But the thing is, I'm a little bit trepidatious. I don't want to have another fall, especially with my ankle. But we'll see. But tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 2 days time, I'm going to push a little bit west into the desert. There's some tracks I want to try, and I'm going to see how far I can get. Anyway, my cuddly friends out there in YouTube land and fuzzy friends on Facebook, thanks very much. From a tired, emotional, one man, one bike. Normally I can sort of think of things to say, but not tonight. I'm a little bit tired. So, what was Elton John's song about the sun going down over me? I don't know. Anyway, right, I'm going to go. I'm going to have a cup of tea, and I'm going to think about some bedtime. And tomorrow is a new day. So, thanks very much indeed for watching. I don't know when you'll see this. It's going to be a day or two before it gets uploaded, because I need to edit it first, but it'll be in a few days' time. So anyway, safe journeys for the rest of you, and thanks for watching, and bye bye for now.